Manuel, we got a call. Caller, who are you and where are you from?
Hey, this is Joe from down here in
Main caller, who are you and where are you from?
Hi, it's Heather King from Canada.
Wow, Heather King. Big hugs for Heather, everyone.
And Joe, just because you're listening, I always learned in Maine, the international call, the long distance
Right.
call. That's the one you always take.
Especially from a beautiful soul like Heather King.
I was going to say, especially when the gal is as beautiful as Heather King. So, Heather, how have you been?
Oh, you guys are so sweet. I missed you. Thanks so much for accepting the call.
Oh, of course. I've
I've been better. It's just been a rough go.
Yeah, I saw that. Did you get your for those of you that haven't been tuning in or are new listeners, Heather is battling Lyme disease and has been doing so for some years now. And she's, you know, Heather, a very strong woman to continue this battle and to keep the positiveness. And not letting the negative, because you know as well as anyone out there that you could get very negative and fall into a depression and just give up, but you don't. You keep fighting, and even the healthcare system up there seems to want to screw you around with this. But did you get the meds, the latest round of medication that you needed?
I'm sorry, did I get the what that I needed?
The medications. The last time I had a computer before it crapped out on me, I saw that you were getting the latest round of medications. Did you end up getting that?
Yeah, we went down last week and got it, and that's really good because it lasts for 3 months. But it's really, really alarming because I have to go back in 3 months and not see the doctor, and she thinks that other things in me are complicated because of Lyme, like my adrenal glands and my thyroid.
Right.
So now I'm going to have more tests and need more medicines because Lyme has, kind of pooched my other systems.
Heather, do you, when you're as you're going through this, you know, all these tests, the doctor appointments, the traveling to New York to get the medications, how do you find, or where do you find your inspiration to stay positive and to stay strong?
That's a good question. The only way I can find to stay positive and to keep strong is to realize that everything happens for a reason. And this is going to sound really crazy, but I believe I got this disease for a reason. It woke me up, and it's helping me to see life in a way more beautiful light than I did before I was sick. I'm a much better person now that I am sick. I didn't appreciate anything when I had everything. And I believe when I beat this, it'll make me a better, stronger, wiser, more beautiful soul. And I'll be able to help so many other people who are going through this as well. That's the only thing that keeps me going.
Awesome. That's a great answer. That's a better answer than the question. And just so you know, Heather, we have not given up on setting up an event. It seems like it takes a lot of work to set up a fundraiser. And Lyme disease, really, I swear to God, it's like if I wanted to set up an event for rabies awareness, it seems like more people would jump on board. Lyme disease is like the forgotten disease, the ignored disease. And as you know, the lady that I choose to spend the rest of my life with, Lady Lee, she once had Lyme disease, and luckily it was found in time, and she was cured of it. But a lot of people are not familiar, or they don't think that this disease is as devastating as it really could be for you, instance, just interrupting your life.
Very true. And what's so unfortunate is the government won't talk about it. The government, there's so many things wrong. The government won't educate the doctors. The doctors won't do anything to treat us because they're scared of getting their licenses taken away. Therefore, there is no real media coverage. Like, it doesn't matter how many times me or other Lymies go on the radio, in the newspaper, on TV. It doesn't matter because there's only one person per major city talking about this.
Right.
But it's everywhere, and it's being denied. I mean, I've written letters to people, big-time people in Ottawa, in Toronto, and every letter I get back to state there's no Lyme disease. And how come there's millions of people, like, literally, there's hundreds in my city. There's hundreds everywhere. It's all over Canada. It's all over the U.S. And there's so much denial. And the only thing I can say is just educate people. Like, everywhere I go, I have little information packets. And what's really scary is sometimes, you know, maybe 2 times a week, you know, the person who I get a tea or coffee from, they're like, oh, my God, my best friend, she has all those symptoms. She's been sick for years. I think she has it.
You know what it reminds me of, Heather? When AIDS first, AIDS was around before we knew it, and everyone was ignoring it. They, like you're saying, the media didn't want to talk about it. The health care professionals didn't want to treat it because they didn't know how to. Nobody was educated on it, and even as humans, we didn't want to be near anybody who, we didn't want to be in the same room with someone who might have AIDS. And then there's the HIV, and it took many, many years for the public to become aware of this immune deficiency syndrome called AIDS and learn about it. And now you see commercials on TV. You see, there's organizations that are going to help people overseas and spread awareness. So you're right, Heather, and I applaud you for trying to spread the awareness for this disease. And maybe, like you said, everything happens for a reason. Maybe this disease and the Lymies out there needed a spokesperson like you, a strong and positive-minded and beautiful soul to spread the word. And I know we here on the NottyWood Show and at Cyberstation, we try to do that too for as often as we can.
And I just want to say too that Heather writes to these government officials, and I'm sure people do that here in the U.S. as well, but all of the listeners out there who are listening, I mean, please help get involved.
Right, yes.
If one person sends it, it's not as powerful as the thousands of you out there. Send it to them and say, hey, look, you guys got to do something about this. It's funny that you say, Heather, that they all say that there is no Lyme disease, because growing up in Maine, that was one of the things that every time we'd go out, obviously growing up in the woods, that was the one thing that they told us was, when you come back, make sure to check for ticks, because that's how Lyme disease, that's how you can get Lyme disease. It's transmitted. So they always told us that's the specific reason you have to check yourself for ticks whenever you come out of the woods, because you could get it and it has those detrimental effects. It's crazy that there are politicians out there who are completely ignoring the situation.
It is. It's devastating, and I think the difference between AIDS and Lyme disease is at that time when what happened was they filled the public with so much fear about AIDS, and it was contagious. So everyone was going crazy over it, but they're not. No one's going crazy over Lyme, and as we know right now, it's not contagious, so it's not a big deal yet. But if it was contagious, guaranteed there'd be help.
Oh, yeah. The CDC would be involved.
For sure.
No, you're right. But, you're right. And go ahead, Heather. Go ahead.
Even I took my cat to the vet last month, and there's big, huge signs in the animal hospital saying Lyme disease awareness, be careful when you do garden, be careful this, and so far this month, we've treated 22 dogs with Lyme disease, and I was talking to the vet, and she even has pet owners that get bit by ticks. So even the animal doctors are aware of it and treating it in animals. Wow.
It blows my mind. I can't imagine, like, if I was a politician and you wrote me a letter, just you, never mind, like, the Mainer brought up a good point, strengthen numbers and let's get loud about it. And that's when, when you create a scene, that's when they start taking notice. But if I was a politician, Canada, Belgium, the United States, and I got a letter from one of my citizens saying that, like you've written, and I've seen one of the letters you wrote that you sent me, I would definitely want to open, I would open my eyes and I would open my heart and I would try and, just in the humane sense, try and get something accomplished to battle this disease and get the healthcare system either more funds, whatever they need, education, funds. Go ahead, Maynard. You get your finger up.
Especially to sort of think that, I mean, Heather has to come over to the
yeah.
U.S.
She has to come to a different country. That would embarrass me as a country.
I mean, to get the drugs that she needs to sort of, continue to,
And we complain here about Obamacare.
I was going to say...
we complain about our healthcare system.
And we complain, but, the reality of it is we don't have to go to a different country to get treatment for arguably something that, a lot of people have. Right. It's not like, Rich has cooties, and he's the only one in the world to ever have cooties.
I do have cooties, by the way.
We are trying to work on the vaccine for that right now. It's very strange. But, it's not just a singular event. It's a lot of people are affected by it. And like I said, it was one of the things that my family told me, be vigilant on it, or as much time as you spend in the woods. Justin, not as much time as you. It's inevitable. I'm giving Justin crap. I got excited. What can I say?
No, and Heather, just know that at any time, once I get my computer back, for instance, we will be making more noise on the different social networks that I have going on, Facebook, Google Plus, Twitter, and we'll try and get this thing ramped up and going this summer. The event that I'm speaking of, to create more awareness, not only for you, but for all of the other troopers that are fighting this disease. And hopefully we make enough noise that it reaches Canada and the government up there starts to hear the noise that we make.
If you're behind it, I'm certain enough noise will be made.
There you go.
Heather, I'm also from Maine, so what we'll do is we'll just get all of the people from Maine to drive up to the border. I know that's nowhere near. I don't know.
Listen, and Naughty Nation, take this advice, and like Maynard was saying, when you're out and about this time of year in our country, when you get back home, check yourself, check your kids. There was not too long ago, me and Lady Lee, we were out. I forget where we were, but we had come back in, and I was laying on the couch, and she saw a tick on my arm, just crawling, looking for a spot to bite. And, because she had Lyme disease, she's very aware, and she's always checking, even the animals. But, thankfully, she found the tick, and it didn't bite me. But check yourself. And these ticks, they're very small, but they can ruin, they can cause some great havoc on you.
And you have to be vigilant yourself, because not everyone can actually have their own Lady Lee.
Right, only I can have Lady Lee.
I've been trying to find my own Lady Lee, but I keep coming up short. But
right.
No, Heather. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, what's really important to know is, first, there's 100% more ticks this year, and what people don't realize is sometimes they're the size of a poppy seed, and they go for hot spots like armpits, groin, hair. So you don't even know you got bit. Right. But if you do get bit, the most important thing right away is to get on a medication called doxycycline. It's an antibiotic, and you have to stay on it for a month. You have to force your doctor, if you get bit, anyone in the world, to get on this medicine for a month, doxycycline, and you'll be cured. If it goes past a month, then once the tick bites you, it's not only biting you, it's laying thousands of eggs inside of you.
God.
Back 18 days later.
Oh, that just wigged me out, Heather. I didn't even know that. That's something I had no idea about.
I didn't know that until a couple weeks ago, and that really screwed with my head.
Right.
But it's really important for people to remember the word doxycycline, because even if you're a mom and you're breastfeeding, your baby's going to get Lyme disease if you get bit and you don't get on this medicine.
Wow. I didn't even know that either.
Okay, so one of the other things, too, Heather, that I wanted to mention is how all of our listeners out there can help you. Certainly, I know that and as we mentioned before, Heather has to come to the U.S. every 3 months or so to get the medicine that she needs. And I feel like I really want to. We have the event coming up here this summer that we're working on now. But in the meanwhile, how can our listeners sort of get involved? How can they help, raise money, do some support, something like that to help you fight this disease?
The only things I can think about is, most of all of your listeners are not Canadian, so that makes it a little difficult. Writing to people, government, and members of Parliament in Canada would help a great deal.
Heather, after seeing pictures of you, half of them are trying to convert right now. Not really sure what that process is, but no, go ahead.
I completely missed that.
I said, after seeing pictures of you and listening to you talk, half of our listeners are trying to convert to be Canadian. Gilbert, if you can give us the proper paperwork.
The crazy Mainer, the great flatterer from Maine.
That is crazy you said that, because you never believe this is totally offline. So, in 1997, I ran away to Texas, and I didn't want to come back to Canada. And I married someone, and it was horrible. And then I came back. And then in 2006 again, I'm like, oh, this place sucks. And I took off to Chicago, and I married someone for good. It's just shit, but it doesn't work that way, because when you marry an American, you have to get someone to sponsor you, and you have to work, and you get all these immunizations. I thought wrong.
Right, yeah.
Really?
That's funny. You didn't like Texas?
You didn't like Texas? Texas, you're failing right now.
No, I live.
The place I lived, it had a lot of cockroaches in it, and
it
was kind of scary.
And actually, when I lived in Houston, I found out that the cockroaches fly. They call them palmetto bugs, but bullshit. That's a huge cockroach with wings.
They're gigantic.
However. The new logo for the NottyWood Show is actually a big cockroach.
Yeah, right. Never. I can't stand those freaking things.
So Texas, take notice, all right? We could have had one of the amazing... we
could have had Heather King as a citizen.
We could have had Heather King, the amazing,
No,
beautiful...
you had to have freaking cockroaches down there, you bastards.
Texas, get on your... Anyway, so because they're not Canadian citizens, Heather, how can all of our U.S. listeners and all of our listeners around the world, what can they do?
If anything, and I don't need to sound like a beggar or anything, I'm going to be starting a new fundraiser in the next couple of days on a site called GoFundMe. And,
excellent.
Even a donation of $1 will help.
Right.
And I know that sounds pitiful, but every single cent helps so much. To see my doctor on September 9th, I'm going to have to find $2,000, and I don't even know how I'm going to do that.
Well, Heather, once you get that set up, definitely send it over to the Mainer, and we'll continue posting it.
We will definitely post it.
Yes, yes, and we'll mention it on the show every time we do a show, whether it's the Tuesday live show or the pre-recorded interviews on the Saturday show, which is at 1 p.m. We'll mention that website, and we'll try to get as many people to donate, even $1, like you said. And it's not pitiful at all. It's the truth. It's honesty. Every cent counts when you're trying to help somebody or an organization. It doesn't matter what, but every cent does count.
And by the way, if you're an organization out there who are listening, who sort of supports people who have Lyme disease and sort of helps bring awareness, helps bring support, helps sort of just bring noise to this just amazingly sort of horrible disease. Send us an email, naughtywood3@gmail.com. Let us know, because we want to sort of work with you. And, I mean, Rich and I have sort of championed this as
yes, championed is a great terminology for that, Maynard.
I looked it up in the dictionary. I was trying to figure out how to say it in French, but
not only that, but amazingly horrible. That's like an oxymoron. That's like
when we have beautiful
like
girls like
opposites.
Heather on the show, and Leanne, who's coming up here in a little bit,
Amazingly horrible.
and Michelle Janae, my ability to talk diminishes immensely.
I noticed. That's amazingly horrible disease.
And
What the fuck? I was ready to kick you in the shins. Like, I thought you were going to say this amazing girl or this amazing lady, Heather King, but then you threw in horrible. And I'm like, where the hell are you going? You got me up, then you got me down. What the fuck?
Rich, please don't say things like I got you up and got you down.
Oh,
please.
yeah, that's right. Damn.
So Heather, sorry, we're digressing because we're trying to, or I'm trying to pull my words together. Around.
Well, like we say all the time, Heather, and you're a perfect example of the message we try to spread whenever we do a show is you just got to keep a positive energy around you, keep positive people around you, keep those positive, like you said it, I heard the statement, when I defeat this disease. It's thinking like that brings positive results into your life. It's a simple law of attraction. So, yeah, and laughter is the best medicine for anything, to get through anything. So you're a perfect example of that. And we applaud you, me and the Mainer, and I'm sure Naughty Nation.
And because we're just about out of time, Heather, we're going to cut to a song. But because I always love to give every beautiful girl exactly
here
what
he
they
goes,
want.
here he goes.
And by the way, Gilbert, outstandingly horrible. We'll put that on the list of approved words. Thank you for that suggestion. Heather, what's your favorite song? And we'll go out with that.
I would love to hear anything by the legendary Pink Dots.
I knew it. Remember the last time you were on, we played that. We played the Pink Dots. I knew it. I should have called it. Damn. I would have been like a hero.
Rich, there's no over-under on song selections on the NottyWood Show. Okay, so...
And you got that through wavelight.com, am I correct, man?
I did indeed.
Excellent.
Heather, what song by the legendary Pink Dots would you like to hear? Not to put you on the spot here.
No, I'm drawing a blank. No, that's a Cheer Garden song. There's side projects. Okay, just let me go through the albums real quick.
And Naughty Nation, she said albums.
Oh my God, Heather can.
30 years, so it's so hard to pick.
Heather.
What about 15 Flies in the Marmalade?
Oh yeah. That's a good one. Do you know how to spell marmalade?
I'm looking it up right now.
The Mainer used to sell marmalade when he was little on the side of a road in Maine. It was actually a dirt road that went through the woods.
Okay, what was the whole part of that? Because all I got was marmalade. Heather, what was the other part of that? There's marmalade, and what other components to the sandwich? I didn't hear
It
that.
was 15 Flies in the Marmalade.
15 flies in the marmalade.
See, I heard 15 and marmalade, and I thought of my
got,
high school.
What, you got the munchies, Mainer?
A little bit.
I heard marmalade and s'mores.
All right, so without much further ado, let's cut to that.
Heather, King, everyone, let's make some noise about Lyme disease, and let's stay tuned in to the NottyWood Show for the GoFund that Heather King is going to set up. And I demand that Naughty Nation band together and help this lady cure this disease and spread the awareness. Heather, thank you for calling. Stay on the line. Here is the Pink Dots in honor of Heather King, a strong, positive, and beautifully souled woman. Naughty, naughty.